Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to the Drinks and Dave.
So
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave. Did you notice how busy the bar is tonight?
Look at that.
You know why,
The
right?
Dirty Dozen. Or no,
you know
sorry.
why? Half-price tomahawk steaks and Kansas City jerseys. Exactly. Oh, and red Gatorade, because they got nowhere to go anymore.
So,
So,
Wonko the Sane is joining us.
I have no idea who that is, but that's okay. Welcome, Wonko.
Welcome, Wonko. Right on.
Wonko the Sane. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, we're up to 9. Busy.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a tomahawk steak?
Yes.
Yourself?
No.
Oh,
God, no.
I've never eaten one. I want to try it sometime.
It's basically a ribeye. It's a good ribeye.
Huh. Right.
And see, we're already having your dad scolding people. I like it.
No.
Oh, it's Eric. It's Eric. It's mad at you. It's Eric. Sorrentino is in the house. And now I want to know what I've never heard of Wonko the Sane. I do too.
The Sane,
I think we have a custom title that's going to be going up. I think
Wonko the Sane.
Wonko the Sane. I like that. Well, welcome, Eric. Long time no see. I'm glad you're here today. And so before we get started, we'll do our traditional thing. Welcome to all the barflies. Thank you so much for joining us for this second annual. I never thought we'd be able to say second annual.
Right, we've been around a while.
Second annual. We rate the Super Bowl commercials, and it was a good year. But before we do that, Dave, what are you smoking tonight?
Yeah, I'm firing up Addict series.
Oh, you're going bougie tonight, huh?
Yeah, I like these. Are somehow they're strong, but not too peppery for me. I like them. I
am smoking bottom shelf stuff. J.C. Newman, Quorum.
You've been going nuts on those.
Well, because you can get a 25 pack for $30.
Yeah.
So hello, Linda. How are you today?
Linda here. Wonko the Sane from Douglas Adams' book. Do you remember Wonko the Sane?
Not from which Douglas Adams book? Because I don't think it's from. Well, it's got to be from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Did he do
more than that series?
Yeah, he did. He wrote a couple of different books.
Yeah. All right.
But that sounds like something you'd hear out of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah. Because you'd hear something like,
I don't.
Gertrude Bibelboats went to and stole things from Wonko the Sane.
I remember listening to that BBC series.
Oh, it was great.
When I was so high, yeah.
Other big news.
Wait,
stuff that's coming in the mail for my birthday, which will be in a few weeks. I am getting 4th book in Hitchhikers. Okay. Thanks for all the fish. I am getting the most awesome Rain Spooner Hawaiian shirt that has ever been made.
Yes.
The Monty Python Rain Spooner shirt. And it's got all the great scenes, including the were-rabbit.
Okay.
And it's got swallows flying by.
No, wait, let me ask you, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a fun shirt.
Yes.
But does anything qualify as a Hawaiian shirt if it's just a repeated pattern covering the entire shirt?
Well, if Rain Spooner makes it, it is.
That's what they're kind of... they got quite the following, and they can just throw whatever the hell.
They really can. Well, because the shirts are like butter. They feel like butter on your skin if you get the Spooner cloth. I've never had anything but the Spooner cloth, but I was nice enough that a certain Lily of the Tig variety got that for me for my birthday.
Oh my gosh. Is that like, does that make her royalty?
It does, but she keeps bringing this up, and it kind of scares me a little bit. It kind of scares me just a little bit that she keeps bringing it up.
She wants to know when they're collecting.
Yeah.
So what diet soda are you drinking?
I'm drinking Pepsi Zero, my own homemade batch of Pepsi Zero from the Soda Stream.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't tried yet. It just came yesterday. I got the cherry Pepsi Zero for Soda Stream, and today the Code Red Mountain Dew.
Back up. There's cherry Pepsi Zero Soda Stream,
brand new on Amazon.
Okay, of course.
Get on Amazon.
Now, I'm waiting, and we'll bring this up later, but I'm waiting for the Baja Blast Zero to come out. But we're going to discuss the Baja Blast thing in our commercials because there was a very disturbing commercial that happened due to Baja Blast, and I don't know if I want to buy it anymore. And we'll go in when we get into the commercials. So let's talk about the game real quick. I don't think anyone expected the results
could not have.
I mean, we knew that Philadelphia was out for revenge, and whether you believe in the good Lord Almighty or not, based on the post game, there is no doubt whatsoever that it seemed to be that God was on their side because
apparently, yeah.
They were interviewing the coach, and I guess he's very, very faith driven. And that's what they were all talking about. And I have to say, and I hope that KJ and his lovely bride don't get too upset at us, but I think that Kansas City kind of went in there with the long-term goal of having 3 Super Bowls in a row, but they were living in the future, not the present. And I think Philadelphia just took advantage of that. That's my opinion anyways.
You know, this whole championship of whatever, when it comes down to one game, is just kind of weird because at that level, usually they tend to be fairly well matched, right? And but you got baseball that they play 140 games to determine the final or whatever it is, and same with hockey, right? It's not just one game.
By the way, speaking of that, real quick, we need to have a moment of silence because football is over and it is baseball season. I've been waiting for this for a year.
but to bring it down to one game, and it's just, and because if they were to play next week, you wouldn't say, well, Philadelphia will always be beating Kansas City. It's that day, that moment.
It's funny because I wasn't going to watch the game because none of my teams were in it. But because of the commercial thing, you had made the suggestion to watch it. And I actually enjoyed the game. Both my wife and I watched it. We had a good time. And but one thing I noticed is Mahomes did not come out with his normal zeal. There was something that wasn't there, because he's usually him and Kelsey. But I did make a comment, and this is how professional barbers can be bookmakers, is I said that Travis Kelce went from having a fade haircut to having a taper. Now, those of you may ask, what's the difference between a fade and a taper? A fade is where it fades up into the hair. A taper just fades the bottom half, and then he had long hair up front. So that's one thing, and they only showed Taylor Swift once that I saw.
Oh, do you think that influenced the overall zen of the team?
Well, there is this Taylor Swift juju that seems to go around. So,
yeah, there you go. To my point, Final Four is a crapshoot. Unlike Stanley Cup in the World Series, where they got to beat the hell out of each other game after game until.
Well, and if you really want a championship that lasts for months and months and months, just look at the College Bowl thing.
Well, then you end up with 14 champions, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone's a winner. Everybody gets a trophy.
Well, I remember last year, again, we both said we only watch for the commercials. So that's why we did the show last year.
Right.
And it was a slog, right?
Yes.
The commercials were like, this isn't even worth watching. And and I might be wrong, but I think they just used a lot of commercials that you saw normally anyway. They weren't special made for the Super Bowl.
That brings up a good point, because I remember when we were planning this last year that we saw a bunch of commercials prior to the game. So when the commercials came on the game, it was like, so what? This time, though, first of all, I think the quality of the commercials was much better. But then again, at $8 million a pop, I guess they should be. And two, they were enjoyable commercials, and we didn't see them before. I think there was only one commercial that I had seen prior to the Super Bowl. Only one of them.
Yeah. But we're back to, this is the way it used to be, right? It was all the big money, they got in all the stars, and we saw that yesterday. All the movie stars and old football legends. And
so before we get into this, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, and that would be the halftime show. Absolutely, in my opinion, the worst halftime show of any Super Bowl that I've seen.
So
It's
we had the
horrible.
discussion because we had our youngest and our oldest here watching the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I totally get that the music that we enjoyed growing up
Mm-hmm.
is not what they listen to now. And so I'm out of touch with, you watch the Grammys and I'm like, who the hell are these people?
Right.
But so I said, so do you guys really think that the most popular music genre across the country right now is rap? And I don't take their word as gospel, but they said that's pretty much what around their age everybody's listening to. But I still question the people that are spending money on all this stuff and the majority of people watching the game. Is that what they're into?
I don't think so. I think
Oh.
that believe it or not, things due to marketing and stuff like that have become very socio-political in nature. Whatever the whatever the fruit of the day is, that's what they're going to go with. And I think it also depends on the promoters of of who is doing it. Like Apple it was the Apple halftime show. So Apple probably said, okay, when they were asked to do it, because it used to be MTV, and then before it was Bridgestone. It was the tire company. So you figure if the tire company is sponsoring it, it's going to be country or rock and roll. If it's MTV, it could be anything. But Apple probably said, okay, what was our number one download for the entire year last year? And I'd be willing to bet you money. I don't have the data.
That's not the craziest theory.
No, I think the only thing that I wish they would have given us is a universal translator.
What the hell?
Idea.
Yeah. Well, so you and I were playing, and then here at home there was like a betting sheet for the Super Bowl, and there was one where you were supposed to pick which Kendrick Lamar song from this group of songs he sang first. And I was listening and looking at the sheet going, he's not saying any of these words to my knowledge of any of these songs. And yeah.
Well, the only controversy I knew about
it for us.
Yeah, the only now, what did your kids think of it?
They're not really into it either.
Well, and Stephen brought that's a good point. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar's song was album of the year. But, sometimes just because you had album of the year doesn't necessarily mean that the demographic is going to enjoy it. However, I was on Facebook watching, because one of our local news guys was saying, what did you think of it? And the vast majority of people that responded to his Facebook post said that they loved it. There was a few in there like us that were like, huh? But the only thing I knew about Kendrick Lamar was the fact that him and Drake were having some type of tit for tat, and he was they were worried he was going to say something about that.
So it's funny because our youngest is, singer. Right. And, I asked her, I said, so how do you get to be famous anymore? Because you don't have to have an amazing voice. Your voice just has to be okay to kind of say lyrics rhythmically and quickly, but you don't have to be able to carry a note or hit a high or low or whatever. And she kind of just said that, well, it's all about the lyrics, and that the ones that get really popular is when you're dissing some other performer.
Right.
That's how you get famous.
Which we could go and do a whole nother show on the house songs. But then again, if you look at the guys like Arlo Guthrie and some of the folk singers from the 60s, Bob Dylan, they were doing the same thing, but it was just a different type of music genre. And to me, the only pet peeve I had,
Lawrence Welk, did they write a song about the old
and the one and the two? No, but I think the only thing that bothers me, and this is probably because I'm a patriot and I was in the military, but to me, the Star Spangled Banner is meant to be sung one way. I don't want to hear your falsettos. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to hear your falsettos. I don't want to hear the extra notes. Just sing the song the way it's supposed to be written. But hey, Apple made a ton of money. Everybody, the average, we were talking earlier before the show started, the average price of a ticket to the Super Bowl, $5,458. And that's probably for the cheap seats.
Yeah. Well,
And
whatever.
that's, yeah.
Whatever.
And Philadelphia won. So even though I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, it's the same state. So I'll count that as a win.
You know what? It's almost sadistic, but that was fun. Like, I went into it not giving a rip who won. And, I mentioned that, all this anti-Kansas City stuff. I'm like, if they created an amazing team where they're blowing everybody out for 3, 4, 5 years in a row, then good on it. That's what they
Right.
put together. Why say, well, somebody else should have a chance? But then to see them just getting trounced was super entertaining. You're just like,
I like what Eric says. Same price as a one day at Disney Park.
well,
well, and the thing is, and we joked about this.
Yeah.
We joked about this, that whether you like, and I'm not gonna be a Swiftie hater. I'm just saying that if you like Swift or not, doesn't matter. But she has a reputation to throw some people to the curb, and when she does, she usually writes a song. So you made a comment on a meme that said that showed Travis Kelce yelling at the coach, saying, "And I was going to propose after the game." That was funny, because will that change them? Will the relationship fail? I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I guess if he can hold his shit together afterwards, but
he should have stayed with the fade, because he looks stupid in a taper. But that's a barber's thing.
Well, when he watches this, he'll take note.
That's right. Yeah, when his agent sends him this. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and Rich, you've got a point that if they had started scoring points again a little bit earlier, so they had just a little bit of a chance, then yes, then you get a bigger cliffhanger, and oh my gosh, can they do it, and all that.
Well, and I know Hurts got the MVP. Okay, hair snob. Yes, I am. I know Hurts got the MVP, but what people didn't talk too much about was their kicker. That man put 3 field goals. Yeah, he was nailing it. He should, in my opinion. I know that there's a lot of controversy about Hurts, and because they think he shouldn't have done this, and he wasn't good enough, blah blah blah. But that kicker nailed it, man. I mean, he was good.
Yeah, he was. Well, it was funny. They talked about the long snapper in one play, and I got to think, you totally forget that. Is that all that guy does? Like, I know the kicker just comes out, but the long snapper, all he does is go out to snap to the the placeholder or something, right?
What and he makes $400,000 a year. Isn't that great? So I've got to post this, because Rich has been posting this everywhere, and he finally gets to use it on our live show. That never noticed that Wilford Brimley was the coach of the Kansas City, and and that leads us into our commercials, because there seemed to be a theme, and we're going to go through a list. And what David said earlier is there was a list that was put out that was rated from A to F.
Yeah.
And we're going to do these randomly, and then we're going to rate them. But it seemed to me that the theme of the commercials this year was disconnected hair, because you had 2 commercials where eyebrows flew off, and then you had another commercial where mustaches flew off. And that was led in by Rich.
Well, and can I talk about the freakiest damn commercial that showed 2 different versions?
Oh, I didn't see both versions.
With the the hats shaped as the heads. Is that where you thought I was going?
Oh, the meat hats. Yes.
What the? Not only was that just bizarre, and it was one of those where it's like, let's get their attention, and then we'll tell them what it's about at the end.
I was grossed out. I was
can't imagine being in a meeting of executives where they're explaining what they're going to do, and they all say, "That sounds good." That's a good idea.
Do you remember what the commercial is about? Because the only vision I have is, that series called Fallout that's got Goggins on it. That's what I was thinking of with that meat cowboy hat. Do you remember what that was about?
It was a website, wasn't it?
I don't know, but it
Let
was
me
scary.
see if I can find that thing. But that was...
Now, the other one that was disturbing, and I don't know if I can ever listen to his music again, because I love Seal, and that song, that song is Tig Lily's favorite song. And seeing him as a seal as a seal, that was disturbing. That was nightmarish to me.
Yeah.
And it was about Baja Blast, and I don't know if
that's the one. Yeah.
I just
So this is weird. Is that in this list of them? I got to scroll kind of quickly through. I don't see that head one, which you would think that they would call that out because there's two different ones. Yeah. All right. So let's see if they have. Let's see what. Yeah. So this is like you said that these are in order by grade, and we didn't want to just run down the grades, and so now I gotta
Right. Just pick one, and then we'll grade it, and then see what they have.
Well, I was trying to find that that one you talked about, but
the meat hat.
All right. Well, so then let's go. So I'll stop here.
Okay.
Is Pringles call the mustaches?
Okay.
Right. The ripping off of the facial hair off national treasures like Nick Offerman was bold. Right. Many of us will have Batman theme with mustache in our brains for weeks.
Considering that there was two of the hair type ones, I'm a little biased towards the other one because the actor I like, but Offerman I love, but it was still a little bit disturbing. And seeing the Kansas City coach without facial hair actually scared me. So I would give that go ahead. I would give it a D.
A what?
A D.
A D. Wow. Oh,
yeah, I would give
tough.
it a D.
They said seeing James Harden's face without a mustache is unforgettable, maybe disturbing. Potato chips might provide comfort with that.
Yeah.
They gave that one an A.
What'd you give it?
I guess a B. It was inventive. It was different. I liked almost anyone that they did specifically for the Super Bowl.
Well, and I think the reason that one, seeing that one, if I would have seen it first, maybe my grade would be different, but I saw the other one first. So,
yeah. So here's one that I'm surprised with their grade of, and it was early on, and it ended up being for Pfizer cancer treatments or research, which you didn't find out till long on, right? And it was a kid that started in a hospital, I think, and then ran, and the song was "Don't Call It a Comeback" when he was running, and they say wouldn't have expected that song to be in an emotional ad, but here we are.
You're talking about the one with the little kid with the boxing gloves? I give that an A.
I thought so too. They gave that a B.
No, I would because to me, being a child of Ali and having friends whose children have had juvenile brain tumors and cancer, I thought it was just seeing that kid, running around like a champion. I thought it was great.
Yeah. look at this guy. We love him. Just do like.
We love him. We love him.
Like and subscribe. I think they all subscribe.
Yes.
Okay, so this one had the best twist ending, I think, and that was the Tostino's pizza rolls. Yes. And that was with the aliens, and the dude was getting into a spaceship to leave, and the door slammed shut and squishes an alien.
well, what I got out of that was the dad sabotaged it so they could have the Tostino's rolls because they were like, sorry, I guess that's too bad. And they got to eat all the Tostino's rolls. I give that an A.
They gave that one an A too.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah. No, that was up there with the A because I was like, what the hell is it? And then that happens and you're like, that's golden. That's golden. Okay. What about this? Again, this one was, so it was made in the comments somewhere else that the commercials weren't funny.
I thought they were great.
That one was funny. Here's another one that was a little campy, but the twist at the end made it. And it was about Stella Artois, the other David.
Oh, I love that one.
So that was David Beckham getting told he had a twin brother and then coming to the United States to meet his twin brother. Right.
And it was Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Oh, I thought it was
David,
great.
Somebody else. Right. And then they take a smash comment to
Ben Affleck. Yeah. I thought that was beautiful. And his final thing was like, I can't remember what he said. Like, I didn't expect that, like, couldn't it be Matt Damon? He goes, no, more like Ben Affleck. I give that one a very solid B.
Oh, you nailed it. They did a B. They didn't like, let me get Let me see if I can find again. They said clever bit, solid execution, perfect kicker in this case, pun very much intended. The meta celebrity reference at the end knocks it down a grade, though.
Really?
That's what made it for me.
Yeah, to me, yeah.
But I think B is fine because it was kind of slow, and you're like, "What is this?"
Right.
And then it was just that little zinger at the end. Oh, so here's your seal one. It's Seal, and he's a seal. Get it? Get it? If you're old enough to remember the 31-year-old song and the name of the guy who sang it, then you're probably too old to be drinking Mountain Dew on a regular basis.
Wait a minute.
The image of Seal, the seal, is one that's going to stick around from this year's ads.
Well, the thing is, and no offense to Seal, but he's a good-looking man, but he's had some issues in the facial area. So my first thought when I saw this, and I'm going to get roasted for this, is what is one of the favorite meals of the orca? An orca whale is a seal. And with his facial issues, it looked like he got attacked by an orca. But I can't believe that song is 31 years old. Wow.
Yeah.
Now I really feel old.
So I was like, dude, what are you doing? The fact that he would agree to do that?
Well, hey, he hasn't really had a lot of hits since then, so maybe...
that's true. I would hope that he's still raking it in, but
if he goes to but let me ask this: if he goes to a concert, is the first thing he's going to do come out and on stage and go, oh.
So what grade would you give that one?
I got to go with a C because it was a little disturbing to see him like that.
Bingo. Yeah, they gave it a C. I might go down to a D though. I mean, that was
really?
I was embarrassed for him, is what it was.
$50 is $50. We can't go into why that's so funny to all of us.
Okay, so I think this is one of your favorites, the Little Caesars.
Oh,
with the eyebrows. Yep. Right? Eugene Levy's eyebrows taking flight and terrorizing, charming, enhancing the natural world around him. Weird, but in a good way.
Well, I'm a big fan of Eugene Levy. I'm a big fan. He did a show on Apple where he's not, it's called The Reluctant Traveler, and he hates to travel. He's from New York, and his son does all the homes.com. That's his son, as you can tell by the eyebrows. But as Reluctant Traveler, the series was that he would go to places based on what his managers would tell him to do. So they were really wild places, and he hates it. So I've always liked him. But the part of that commercial I liked the best, that I literally had a belly laugh, was when his eyebrows landed on that stick and the caterpillars were treating him like there was their god. Yeah, I give that a solid A. A solid A.
They gave it a B.
Really? Why?
I think what it had going for it is early on in the Super Bowl, we hadn't seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that might have been one of the first ones where it was like, okay, they're making special commercials for it.
What did they say about it? Was that it?
That was it. Weird, but in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Michelob Ultra. I don't know if I remember this one. William Dafoe, Catherine O'Hara.
Oh yeah, that's
Young Munsters.
That's the commercial that I saw prior to.
Courts.
Yes, Eric, thank you so much. Won't go the same for showing up. Have a good day at work, and don't be such a stranger, my friend. Yeah, that was the one where Dafoe and Catherine O'Hara were playing the pickleball, which I will give that a C, and here's why. And you know why. Because where my barbershop is where Pickleball Central seems to be in Tucson. I'm done with pickleball. I'm done with it.
Too trendy.
Too trendy.
Too trendy. I like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I like Willem Dafoe. I like him a lot. And there's a story about him we'll have to talk about in another show.
All right. Well, they said that them hustling smug youngsters for Michelob Ultra out on the mean pickleball courts, which sounds unlikely only if you've never played pickleball. I wouldn't want to face the Green Goblin or was it Moria Rose on a pickleball court, and neither should you.
Right.
Yeah.
But it does show how intense pickleball people are, because they are that intense.
All right. I
would, yeah.
see some of these. I forgot partway through that we were going to be talking about these, and I kind of zoned out during a few commercial breaks.
Okay, like one.
So there's a Coffee Mate. Let's go to Tongues. Let's go Tongues. Do you?
Oh yeah, that was another disturbing one.
This is so many of these ideas must sound so great in the brainstorming stage. What if we had a dancing tongue leap out of a dude's mouth and cavort on stage?
No, to me, it was almost, as weird as this sounds, it was almost X-rated, because they started out and the one guy tilted his head back and he channeled Gene Simmons from Kiss, and I mean, I can see, okay, I got to say this very, very carefully. I can see where a certain group of the population would look at that and say, "Oh, I like that." But that's it. No, I give that a solid F to me. That was an F.
Yeah, they gave that a D.
Yeah.
They said, "Wow, I never need to see that again. Never, not every ad that's memorable is memorable in a good way."
Right.
Yeah.
Did not like that one. But again, this comes to the point that you said about you're sitting in a boardroom with the movers and shakers that control this $8 million that they're going to spend for a 30-second spot. And some guy goes, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's have a guy sit back and stick his tongue out and just start waving it." And then, because to me, what I see is a guy sitting there going, "Okay, Mickey, why don't you go ahead and do that too?" I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, remember, that's $8 million after the production costs of getting these celebrities and
to stick their tongue
stuff.
out. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Do you remember one for a hex-clad pans?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
That was the one where the Gordon Ramsay comes in and he goes through this secret thing, and they said, "We want you to use this pan." He goes, "Well, wait a minute, that's one of my pans." And then there was another star in it that went out and said something like, you're not that important. But I can't remember who the other star was. Does it say in there who it was?
No, it doesn't. They said he was going to cook up some alien food, and then devolved into yet another celebrity Super Bowl ad.
Right.
Wacky commentary on celebrities themselves.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of who the other celebrity was. But yeah, so I give that one a C because I don't remember it. Maybe even a D.
They gave that one an F.
Okay.
Fumbled a big opportunity. Should have had Gordon for pan frying some alien steaks in butter. Yeah. So did we? So which one? Your favorite was the eyebrow one, I thought.
No.
Okay.
Go to the next one.
All right. So there's one about Duncan, Ben Affleck. Duncan, obsessive and oblivious Bostonian, is one of the best commercial characters to come along in a while. And this time around, he gets an assist from his brother Casey and Succession's method acting Jeremy Strong, as well as Jay and Silent Bob's Ben Belichick.
Yeah, I think once again they took a football coach, brought him in, and I'm sorry, I'm so used to seeing Ben Affleck without his Bostonian accent, and he doesn't have his Southie, what they call the Southie accent, and they've already done this commercial. They did it with Ben Affleck or with Matt Damon last year or 2 years ago. I give it a D.
Oh, that's why you're not in the advertising business. They gave that one an A.
Yeah, I know. I didn't like it.
Yeah. Let's see the one. There's the Hellman's mayonnaise when Sally met Hellman's.
How can you not like that? That's a B, because you got to like that, because that was such a, well, first of all, we have not seen her in ages. See, I'm with your dad. I'm done with the Duncan theme. But Meg Ryan, we haven't seen her in ages. I mean, in anything. It seemed like once her and Dennis Quaid split, that was it. You didn't see her again. And I think it was neat to do it the way they did it, because that was a good movie. I mean, that's a memorable movie thing. So did they use material already done? But yeah, I give it a B. I gave that one a B. What did they give it?
They gave that an A. They
said you didn't like it. You didn't like it so much.
Well, just like all the other ones, anyone where you're seeing a big star, like not being serious and stuff, I like that. coming back just for 10 seconds or whatever.
Right.
That's fun for me. They said it's still funny enough for anyone unfamiliar with it, and Sydney Sweeney's cameo at the end is the bridge to a younger audience.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a gross amount of mayo Ryan put on her sandwich.
No, you can never have too much mayo. Because I had a meatloaf sandwich today that was slathered in it. So,
what else we got? Dash Pass. I don't think I remember this one. Dash Pass Math. Oh, wait. No, the comedian guy.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't use their massive DoorDash savings to go clone themselves and hire an opera singer to sing? That one, that was actually fun. He played a whole bunch of different roles in that. That one I thought was
Yeah, I think that was a B. And then does it mention the one that had Chris Hemsworth and the guy from Guardians in the Galaxy? They were doing the Meta glasses.
Oh, I think I saw Meta on here. Let's see.
Chris, what's his name? Chris Platt? Chris Platt, that's it. Chris Platt.
Yes, Broken Statue.
Yes, that one was funny. They had two of them.
Could not be more down the middle ad. Attractive celebrities, wacky conundrum, safe little kicker. Which way undersells what a creepy product this is? An always on cybernetic assistant. No, this is for Tig. That does your thinking for you. Right. Did Thor learn nothing from Avengers: Age of Ultron?
But the thing is, they used him because he's a sex symbol. Both of those guys, But I thought it was funny when he knocked the head off that statue. I thought that was funny.
I thought that was cute. I think this one was a C. I think they underscored.
I would do a B.
Underscored that one. Yeah. Okay, this one was funny. Coors Light, a case of the Mondays. You remember that one? It takes a long time to get to the payoff, and the payoff ain't all that great, is what they say. Plus, anyone who has ever watched Veep is going to be asking, who is this guy? Who's the other guy? What's going on here?
I must have been taking a restroom break because I don't remember that one at all.
All right, so let me go down the list here, and then you can just tell me if you remember.
Okay.
Them, and then we can talk about it. So there was the Nike. So when I remember, Nike was good because you were like, what in the heck is this ad for? And it was entertaining. Caitlin Clark and a host of star female athletes disregard condescending attitudes towards women's sports. You can't win, so win.
See, to me, that was political in nature. And to me, commercials shouldn't be political. I have always thought women's sports are great, and I don't need to see Caitlin sticking out her tongue 4 times and then see her rolling her eyes. I mean,
is this the one where they were
rolling their eyes at the end?
But they were talking about flag football?
Yes.
It say? I had never known that was a thing outside of like high school powder puff, senior week, whatever. Ironically, just after the Super Bowl, we were watching some local show and they were interviewing a high school women's flag football team that had won the first championship they had.
Right.
That was actually organized. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, why can't they tackle?
Well,
why do they have to have flag if they're doing that? I think that's a disservice.
Well, exactly. They're saying that women cannot do sports that men can. Now, if a woman wants to join a football team or a baseball team, go for it. I mean, there's a woman wrestler in college that she is a beast. And she takes advantage of the fact that, in wrestling, obviously guys aren't going to do certain types of movements, and she doesn't care.
Yeah. But there's
okay. Okay, there was 2.
He's saying there's 2 different ones. So maybe it was the flag.
What was maybe your dad can answer this. Was the Nike one the one where they were rolling their eyes at the end? Because that's the one I didn't like. The other one, I can't remember. I thought they were the same one.
But see, but those are 2 different things. One is if women can compete on teams with guys, go for it,
right?
Which is true. But if they want to be able to participate in the same sport on a women's team, not counting in should anybody be playing football and getting concussions from middle school on up.
Right.
But if they're going to play football, why not play football? Why make it this watered down?
I think what I got from it was that they're talking about the disparagement of revenue dollars, marketing dollars, salaries, because if you compare sports, but I think that's what they were looking at. Yeah, towards the end,
I just don't understand the flag football.
Towards the end of that commercial, Stephen, they rolled their eyes at some comment that was made, like women shouldn't do this or shouldn't, and they were rolling their eyes.
Maybe it was you can't win, so win, and maybe they're rolling like we can't win, so we're gonna.
Maybe, yeah, I can't. But see, that in itself brings up a point that if we all can't remember the commercial, then again, it wasn't effective. And when the board meeting happens on Monday, people say, hey, where was our share in this?
Yeah. Well, the one that they don't mention at all, which came on twice, 2 different ways, was Snoop Dogg and somebody else exchanging hateful comments with each other.
Oh, that was...
Look, doesn't that sound stupid?
It was Snoop Dogg. God, who was the other guy? It was Tom Brady. Yeah. It was Tom Brady. And I got to say, talking about Brady's play-by-play was horrible. I don't know what happened to him, but in the beginning, the pre-show, he looked like a crackhead. I mean, he was gaunt. You could see, he did not look good. And his play-by-play was terrible. But then again, it is what it is.
All right.
And Gronk was terrible.
Dude, Gronk was.
And the thing is, I like Gronk because he went to the U of A. He a great football player, went to the University of Arizona. But why did you need to yell when you're getting comment? And the other person that I think got upset, they kept cutting off Terry Bradshaw during that thing, which I thought was funny.
All right, here's one that I think didn't deserve the score. Let me find it now. It was where, do you remember they were throwing laptops through windows? It was it looked like it was set in Ireland or Scotland or something. Uh-huh. And instead of throwing papers, he was throwing laptops, and it crashed through a window and land on the bar and all this stuff. And it was like, what so that was for Squarespace.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know who.
And it was the premise of farmers and merchants on a remote Ireland needing Squarespace to build websites in a remote village is silly enough to be entertaining. And throwing anything through a window should get some attention. They gave it a B. I thought that was a ridiculous.
D. Yeah, D to F.
Bad. Yeah. There was Ritz Salty Club. I don't remember that one.
Don't even remember that
one. Uber Eats Conspiracy.
Don't remember that one.
That was a final chapter of ongoing Matthew McConaughey NFL conspiracy theory that's been running. So he was in a couple of them.
Well, the one that I like, that Matthew McConaughey was in with Woody Harrelson. Those I like because there's that. Well, there's that rumor that Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey are actually brothers. They're going to do a DNA test because all the things line up right about their fathers and their mothers, and so there's a chance that they're brothers.
There was Google Pixel, straight up emotional terrorism to sell phones now, showing a young girl embracing her father as both a child and as a college student. I don't remember that one.
I don't remember that one. The one I remember that talked about websites was Goggins with the Goggins goggles. I remember that one. I think that one was okay, but not.
We'll see if we get to it. There's Rocket Mortgage, which was Country Roads song through the whole thing.
Yeah, I had a problem with that because if you're gonna sing, I'm a huge John Denver fan, and if you're gonna do Country Roads, let him sing it. Don't let anybody else sing it. He's the only one that knows how to sing it. Man. Because then they went back, they cut after the commercial, and everybody was singing it in the stadium, and it was John Denver. So come on.
Oh, really? I didn't know. Mm-hmm. It says, what do mortgages have to do with one of the great sing-along songs of all time? Don't worry about it. Just sing along. There's I missed this one, which I'm bummed about. It's the Budweiser. They had the Clydesdales.
It's on YouTube. Okay. Let me put it this way. as is typical with Budweiser Super Bowl commercials with the Clydesdales, it is going to pull at your heartstrings.
Okay, well that's it. They gave that one a B. Are you surprised? Should it be higher?
No, I would have given it an A.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what is better than seeing a baby Clydesdale kicking a keg into a bar?
Okay. All right.
Because the premise was, since you didn't see it, the delivery guy from Budweiser was taking his kegs to a bar. One fell off. And so the little baby Clydesdale, who hasn't made the team yet, jumped over the fence and nosed it all the way from the country to the bar.
Okay. They said, sure, it's a little silly, but at least it doesn't have any unnecessary celebrity appearances or winking 2020 era nods at the audience. Major unanswered question: how is that beer not just explosive foam when they finally tap the kid? Oh, this one was funny. The Haagen-Dazs, not so fast, not so furious.
I didn't like that. I didn't. I mean, I saw it. I didn't like it because I don't know. I mean, to me, they were just taking the popularity of that and then turning both her and Vin Diesel into sweethearts. No. And then, but I did like when he drove by and he goes, "What are we doing?" That much I like. So it was okay.
Yeah.
But
well, see, they made the comment about unnecessary celebrity appearances. I like those. That's kind of what I'm, watching them for. Booking.com. Oh, that's the one that had the Muppets in it. That was.
It was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a banjo in it, so a banjo gets a B no matter what.
Oh, here's your Goggins goggles. That was GoDaddy.
Yes. GoDaddy. That's right.
Come on, that ad writes itself. Walton Goggins, star of Everything, gets his just due as the star of a Super Bowl ad for GoDaddy.
He's just a great. I mean, do you watch that show that he's in where he plays the cowboy? It's a good show.
I don't think so. So, okay, so here we go. This is one that you mentioned before, the Jeep one. I think we had mixed opinions about this one.
To me, I'll go with
Harrison Ford, right? And he's got a Jeep, and he's got like this.
He's actually got 5 of them.
Okay. All right. Well, then they probably gave him a free one, right?
Boy, he has actually, that was filmed at his ranch in Jackson. So that's his house. That's his house.
Well, that guy, he just rolls out of bed and makes money, doesn't he?
Well, to me, I give it an A plus, but
because
I'm biased.
You like Jeep.
Well, okay. I've got a Jeep.
Other than this.
And I love the fact that my buddy, and I told you this, my buddy just sold his Jeep and bought a Bronco.
Yeah.
And
so this one's worth talking about.
The best part is when he goes, "And my name is Ford." That to me made the whole thing. And he was environmental. What I liked about it is it was a very patriotic commercial without being political, because the Jeep has been around since 1941, and the Jeep was an integral part of our freedoms. And because the Bronco is its biggest competitor, so I see how they did that. But what I liked at the end is I didn't expect him to go out to an E-Jeep.
Right.
So it had a little bit of an environmental. I think it would, to me, that commercial, aside from being a car commercial, I think it had a lot of substance to it. I really liked it. So
to me, it struck me as a little odd because it seemed very kind of subdued and quiet and kind of like, let's have a conversation after all the hype and silliness and stuff. So it was a little out of place. But so here's what's weird, because I'm an electric car guy.
Right.
But when, I saw at least a couple of the shots, because it said E whatever on the back of the Jeep that was driving. I think if I was going to be off-roading, that's one place I would not buy an electric vehicle for. Because if you're out in the boonies, right, in the series, people carry the gas with them.
They're a hybrid. They didn't say that in the thing, but because one of my clients had one, but the technology of them is not there yet. And he got caught on the backside of Mount Lemmon, which is one of our mountains. He ran out, and luckily he had that hybrid. But they'll get there. I mean, like any other electric vehicle. I think the concept of having an electric Jeep that can do everything that the regular Jeep can do, because the one that he drove away in was the only one that was electric. All the other ones were the V8s, the turbo 6 cylinders and stuff like that.
Well, that makes sense. If you're going to have 5 of them, one of them could be electric for going and get your groceries. And
whatever. It's a Jeep.
But physically for off-roading, if range wasn't an issue, the torque you would get from an electric motor, plus the variability, right, to barely creep along super easily.
Right.
I
give that one an A.
Spruce. I don't even know what Spruce is. Who Let the Dogs Out?
I don't even remember that one.
All right. Moving. Oh, this one was weird. The Angel Soft is potty time. Did you see that?
I don't remember that one either.
It was just 30 seconds where it had like, I don't know, I think their little cloud for Angel Soft or whatever saying, hey, now's the time to bathroom break.
Oh, yes.
20 seconds to go. I get, again, in the boardroom, they think this is going to stand out. It's so different. We're not going to, but it's just like,
no, I don't want some little Dora the Explorer cartoon coming out and saying, why are you still here? You should go to the bathroom.
That was a little.
We do that with our dogs. We do. It's like, go outside, go to the bathroom.
Well, film it. You'll be on the Super Bowl next year. This one, I kind of like more than I thought it would. Was the Nerds Candy to What a Wonderful World, because they talk about all the different colors and all this. I like, well, maybe because of the song.
Yes.
The song pulled it together.
Yeah, I would give that a solid B for sure.
Yeah, there's one about Google AI. I don't remember that one.
That's the one where he's dictating into the or he's doing a job interview. He's doing a job interview and the AI is answering or asking the questions. Yeah, that one's kind of creepy.
Okay. Weather Tech, Born to be Wild. It's a Sassy Grannies. Oh, that's the one with the 3 grandmas in the car, right?
That's right.
Okay,
yeah.
that was kind of. They gave that a D. I thought that was cute.
It was cute. Yeah, it was all right.
Their comments were sassy grannies and some hidden elderly nudity, but we're still using Born to be Wild in the year 2025. Seriously? That song was nearly 60 years old. There have been a lot of good songs written since then. Well, come on, man.
Why do I get the feeling that the people that are writing the reviews on this are
like that halftime show?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because Born to be Wild is like a classic song.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I'm going to go off the rail here a minute.
All right.
I don't know if you remember when Gene Simmons from Kiss, he was doing an interview and he said that because of the way contracts are and everything else now, that rock and roll is dead. It's dead. And anybody new cannot get into the business. Well, AC/DC took a little bit of a concern with that. And they came on and they said, Gene, you don't know what you're talking about, because if rock and roll is dead, our funeral has been going on for 40 years. It was great. Sorry. Yeah. That just because
we pretty much went through the list. So
yeah. What was your favorite one of the whole bunch? I thought you would say Offerman because I know you like Offerman.
Nah. Boy, I don't know. I keep coming back, I think, to the little kid.
Okay.
Again, just because what I'm into is work and all that stuff. So that one, I thought that was really cool, and how they focused on a child and the health and all that stuff. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, I would say my top 3 were obviously, and granted, a lot of it is the bias of Jeep. I love Harrison Ford. I like the fact that they brought the whole history of Jeep and the patriotism. I like it. To me, it was the perfect commercial. Second was totally opposite, was the eyebrows, and then third would have been the Pfizer one.
Yeah. I think the top 2 would have been the alien that got smushed in the door, just because that's still so big and funny to think about. Yeah.
But no, as far as the one that pulls at the heartstrings, I agree with your dad. I think the kid in the boxing gloves, showing that he beat cancer. I thought that was really cool. But they were all. But as far as a total, this was one of the best years for commercials, I think.
Yeah.
Although a lot of people, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of people said no, it was terrible. I thought it was good.
Well, okay, but compared to last year, world of difference.
Oh God, yeah,
World of difference.
yeah.
So we can't end the show without food.
Yes.
What did
Oh
you
yeah.
have? What was your Super Bowl snacks?
We had chips and guacamole. Well, I have an
For
admission
3
here.
hours?
No, here's what happened. Hello, Pantea. Yeah, Sharon needed to go to the store to return an item, and she figured she'd do it, right at the beginning of the Super Bowl, and then pick up some stuff because we're out of ketchup, and she was going to make meatloaf and pierogies for dinner. So in the meantime, I was watching the football game, and I was eating chips and guacamole. And I ate all the guacamole. And she comes home, and I go, I have to admit something to you. And she goes, what? I go, I ate all the guacamole. She goes, I looked in the trash can. I know you did. And I was like, and then she made a wonderful meatloaf and pierogi. So yeah, we didn't do our normal, like last year we did snacks. We did chicken wings and nachos and stuff like. We didn't do that this year.
Yeah.
How about you?
We pared way down this year too. We did it's always a veggie tray with ranch dip for the veggies, and then the French onion dip for the potato chips.
Mm-hmm.
And then my wife made a 7-layer dip, with the beans and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She never made one, just wanted to go for it, so we said okay. And then the trend this year, according to my Facebook feed, is throwing almost anything into crescent roll dough and baking it.
Oh, okay.
So the oldest found one of those and did like a shredded chicken with some kind of a spicy sauce on it and cheese in that. That's all you need.
It's funny you mentioned that. My niece, who was here for a couple of months, over the holidays, we got together and did kind of finger foods and stuff like that. And she had a crescent roll recipe where you take crescent rolls, cranberry, Monterey Jack cheese, and jalapenos and bake it. Oh,
yeah.
You had the sweet and the salty, and it was just absolutely delicious.
See, every time I see one of because you see them like a cheeseburger bake, right? And you put in beef with your whatever, and then you see the pizza bake, and you put in pizza sauce and all this stuff. But you still have now I love that stuff, but you still have a crescent dough taste is the primary one. And I could see you could easily get here's another something in a crescent.
Well, and the thing is, and the problem with crescent rolls with any recipe that you make is that you as a person would stand at ground zero of a nuclear Holocaust bomb. But when you're opening a crescent roll can and it says to press the spoon in, everybody, I don't care who you are, is like this. Because when it pops, it's like an explosion.
Wait, do you open it that way?
Yeah, I do the spoon. How do you open it?
Well, you got to bang it on the counter, man.
No. That would say no.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
Although that became a whole thing because the two kids were working together on this and didn't read the instruction and peeled off. I think at first didn't peel off that outer wrapper, to loosen it up. And then got told, well, that's not why it's not opening, and then peeled part of it. It was a whole, yeah.
But hey, you had entertainment.
Yeah.
But it had to be nice to have the family there because I know you guys are pretty much almost empty nesters now, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. I mean,
one more,
one more. Yeah. So we got exciting stuff coming up on our show. Probably not next week, but you think maybe we could get it by the week after?
I think we could probably put it together, and that's going to be another tasting, correct?
Yes. What are we doing this time?
Gin.
The very, very what do you want?
Controversial.
No, controversial. Okay.
Well, a lot of people don't like
say gin. Sophisticated.
That's true.
Sophisticated.
I have
very European.
I have a monocle too.
Well, you gotta wear that. But
of course.
Being Scotch aficionados, one of the gins. Do you have the what is the
botanist?
Botanist.
I haven't gone down. Scotland. I haven't gotten bought it yet.
Okay. Well, they have the general botanist from a Scotch distillery in Scotland, and they make this gin. And then they came out with one that was aged in their barrels for 6 months, and we thought, oh my gosh, got to try that one. And then I was thinking, I think I've got 5 or 6 different gins. You've got some. We're gonna compare notes and hand deliver samples to each other.
And, because I don't think you've ever tried Aviation, have you?
No.
Okay, so I've got that.
No. Yeah.
And then of course your standards, Tanqueray, Rangpur, stuff like that.
Oh, so I don't have Tanqueray.
Okay, perfect. So
yeah, so and then we'll get a good selection.
And we both got Orbium, don't we? I think we both have that, don't we? Okay.
Orpheum Sapphire.
Yep.
I got one that's black, which is weird.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
it's weird. So I'll send that. So anyway, that maybe in a couple of weeks we'll be
we'll do that
together. Yeah,
exactly. So I hope everybody enjoyed the show. And real quickly before we sign off, if you could really quick type in what your favorite commercial was, which means we'll get like nobody to type in anything.
Anyway, one vote for the kid. One vote for the kid in the gloves.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway. So Dave, I hope you have a great remainder of the week. I'm glad that Pantea is healing, on the constant heal and stuff like that. And so anyways, thank you everybody for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and we'll come up with something for our next week's show. Not sure what it'll be yet, but we will come up with something. So say goodnight, Dave.
Good night, Dave.
All right. Take care, everybody.